And there it is, the finished product, except it's not. Let me take you over there to it and we'll take a look at this. Alright, so here it is. The stand, pole, 2 shelves, 3 shelves, and excess pole that's still sticking out the top. Off camera yesterday, I went ahead and made quite a few changes to this thing, and in doing so discovered that I was way overthinking the way it should be built. So I'm gonna, this is a prototype now. It's going to be one that I'm going to just kind of fix up for myself and my wife, and I won't give this to my friend. I'll build another one, and I'm going to go through all the build of that here shortly. But let me show you what I did on this, the changes that I made on this. Let's see here. Let's turn this thing over on its side. At least I made it strong enough that I can do that. Alright, so here on the top shelf, you know, I just put those blocks right there. Well, I went ahead and added another one and re-drilled that hole. And then I got to thinking, well shoot, that's really all I need. So I came back here, cut off these extensions that I'd put onto these things, and just added 2 more blocks. And then I re-drilled the hole, drilled it vertical like it should have been. Did the same thing back here. Back here I got a total of 4 blocks. This is the big shelf. And still got those braces, but I just cut the braces off. They'll help to keep this plywood from sagging, but that's all they're there for now. Once I build the new ones, I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm basically going to do that design on the other ones. And then I came in here on the bottom where that hole is such a hassle, and I put 2 more blocks on it, and then I just completely re-drilled and drilled all the way through into the bag, and had to put a little patch there on the bottom because I went all the way through and got that hole vertical. So that's basically what I'm going to do on the new design too, is have 4 blocks right there and make that vertical hole also. So there is the basic layout of what it's going to be at the end. It's just going to look a whole lot better because I'm going to not have all those gaps and holes and split wood and everything else that I've got on this one. Final plan on this is going to be, I'm going to paint these bottoms flat black so they kind of hide. Probably paint the legs too. That way they'll kind of hide and won't reflect the light from the villages, because this is designed to have a bunch of tinsel and everything else put on it. Let me stand it back up right here. Whoa. And had villages sitting on it, Christmas villages, and had the lights from them. We don't want the light reflecting off the top of the shelves and making them show up. So there we are. Next thing I'll be doing is building the actual finished product. All right, so starting on the build of the new product. First, let's mark the center of all the shelves. This time I'm going to mark the diagonals on both sides of the shelf, and that way I'll have something to go by when I'm attaching the braces and stuff. So let's get with that. That one I've already gotten. Good. Already got the hole cut on it too, or it's marked on it. Not the hole, the circle. All right, here's a 24-inch. Just leave that there. And the 16-inch. All right, then I'm going to mark out the circles on here and cut all of that out, and I'll be right back with you. So next, I will go ahead and drill the 1-inch hole in the middle of each of the shelves. This tabletop and all here is fairly level, and this drill has a level bubble in it. The drill that I'm using, there it goes. So I should be able to drill a nice vertical hole through this piece of plywood. When you start getting multiple sheets trying to go through, I think is where my problem was. So let's see if we can get one good vertical hole here. Of course, my bubbles have now separated. That's nice. There we go. And there we go. The first of many. So next, I'm going to use all these scraps from cutting out the circles and cut a bunch of 4x4-inch squares, 4 inch by 4 inch squares. I'm going to use my table saw to do that. Get as many of them as I can out of these scraps, and that will be my braces going up that'll go underneath each one of the shelves. So let me get at that. Alright, so there's 6 of them. So here's what I want to use. These that I cut off of the round. We'll use them for some more of them. Yeah, and I'm not worried about if it got a little corner like that. Never see it underneath. So if I end up with something like that, I'm not really worried about it. Alright, so I needed at least 12 of them in my calculations last night as I laid in bed and didn't sleep. So there they are, 14 of them, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 14 of them. And we'll see how that works. If I need more, I've got some more scrap right here. So now that I have all of the squares cut, now let's mark the centers of every one of them. So again, just like I did yesterday, I'm just going corner to corner, making an X. Where that X meets, that's the center. And these I'm not worried about getting on both sides, because I'll only be drilling from one side. Alright, I'll continue to do the rest of them and be right back with you. Okay, well yesterday I commented that I didn't have a drill press. Well, I don't, but I do have sort of a drill press. It's this thing right here. A drill mounted in a arm that allows me to use it like a drill press. And that will work fine for what I'm about to do. Because if you're asking yourself why I found the centers of every one of these blocks, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pre-drill each one of the blocks right here with their 1-inch hole. Hopefully that will help me keep this thing vertical. So let's drill a couple of holes. See? So while it works fine for this, It obviously would not have worked yesterday using trying to drill the holes in the big boards and everything. So let's get these holes drilled and I'll get right back with you. All right, there we are. 14 holy boards, ready for church. So the plan now is to take this dowel. This is the 1-inch dowel that I'm using to make the upright. Well, I wish they wouldn't stick them stickers on there. At least they make them where they come off easier. I'm going to cut about a 6-inch piece off of here. I'm going to use it to align everything as I start building it all together. So let me get that cut and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so before I start assembling anything, I got one more set of cuts I got to make. This is the 2 2x4s that I'm going to make with stand out of. And I've got to put a notch in them so that they will sit inside of each other half lap. So let me draw this out. So what I'm going to do with this, they're 24-inch boards. So the center is 1 foot. These boards, these 2x4s are actually 3.5 inches wide. So I will go over 1.75 inches from the center. 1.75 inches from the center. Do that on both boards. There's 12-inch, 1.75 inches, 1.75 inches. And I will mark that off with this square here and here. Alright, so this is what I need to take out. Now what I need to take out is half of this 1.5 inches. So I need to take a 3/4 inch notch out of each one of these. So what I'll do is I'll go over to the table saw, I'll get a piece of scrap, work out the 3/4 inch depth. I'll go ahead and make a notch, a cut here on each side, and then I'll have to go through and make a bunch of cuts through here and waller all of that out, both of them. Lots of dust, lots of noise, but it's about the only way I've got to do it. So let's get at it. Okay, so even though I did this on a scrap piece and it seemed to be perfect, as you can see, I didn't quite cut deep enough once I adjusted for all of that. So, got to run through all this again, but this time I'll just be cutting off a hair more on each one of them. Alright, so since I was just cutting off a little bit on each one of them, what I could do is just raise the blade up a little bit and just run it back and forth like this until I shaved off and what I needed. I ended up doing it twice to get it to the right spot, but now that I'm at the right place, look at there, nice and smooth. All right, let's move on to the next step. All right, now that we have everything cut out, let's get it all assembled. So I'm going to start by assembling these legs, glue and screw them together, actually glue, and I'll just nail them together with the air nailer. So let me get the compressor plugged in and get the glue going. All right, so I went ahead and drilled one hole in this for that pole to go through. That'll sit right down in there, and I'll have some other blocks on top of it to help brace it. All right, so I took this in and warmed it up last night. So let's see if it's going to do a little better now. Oh yeah, that's much better. That's what I was looking for yesterday. It wasn't happening. Alright, that ought to hold that nicely. To make sure it does, let's come from the other side with a few here. Alright, there's my base, minus my feet. Remember, I'm going to put 4 little feet on the bottom here. I will do that later, but let's move on to assembling the circles. Here's my circles. See which is my top and which is my bottom. 6 one, half dozen the other on that one. I think this is my bottom. So let's get this dowel. Push it in here. Alright, I want to waller these holes out a little bit with the other drill bit. So I will be right back with you after I've cleaned them out some. Alright, so I tried wallering them out with the spade bit, 1-inch spade bit. About broke a finger doing so. It caught in here. Wasn't holding it as tight as I should have been. So it didn't work anyway. See? That's been wallered out with a spade bit and it still won't go on. So what I've come up with is I had this Dremel with a little sanding thing on it, and I'm just going around it like this. Voila! So let me do the rest of them and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so I went ahead and wallered all of these out. I did all the circles too, went ahead and hit them, all the shelves, hit them a little bit with some too. So, because all these are going to have to slide down this pole each time you build this thing. So, it'd be best to have them a little bit loose. Alright, I'm just checking my table here to make sure it is pretty well plumb. And if I put this here, way up there. And that is pretty plumb there too. So, now I will take some glue, put on a block, slide it down on there, nail it, and move on. Actually, I'm going to put 2 blocks first because my nails are too long. They'll go through the 1 block and go out the top, and I don't want that. I guess I could change nails for this, but then I have to keep changing back and forth. I'll just put 2 first. All right, let's see here what I want to do. Get some of that dust out of there. Get some glue on here. Just got to be careful and not glue the dowel in. That would not be good. Okay. There's one. There's 2. All right. Let's shoot a nail in there. Or 3 or 10 or whatever. So I will, of course, come in from the top too, put some in. All right, so this is the top shelf. That's all I'm going with on the top shelf is 2 of them. All right, let's spin this thing around. Hey, looky there. I remember to mark them up here. Now I'm out of bullets. Yep. There we go. That's not going anywhere. Once that glue dries, it's not going anywhere anyway. All right, so now this definitely looks like the bottom of this shelf. Ugh. Hole somewhere. There it is. Where I drilled through and went in the other. Went in the stand. So I'm using it as my centerpiece. So that's got to come this way. Like that. It's much better. This glue, nice and warm. All right, this middle piece, I'm putting 3 on it. It's a little bit bigger. It'll help support it a little more. Okay. Now let's flip it over. Put in a few from the top. Alright, that's not going anywhere. Now this big guy, the bottom one, 32 inch. I think this is my bottom on this one. Get all this stuff up here. Line up my hole. Hole for the pole. Get my level. Set the pole as best I can here. These are going to be the underside, so I'm going to use my blocks that had that little notch missing. I'll use them down here. Anybody ask, I'll say I designed it that way. Probably actually have enough of them. I didn't even have to use them, but that's okay. And fire some nails in there. Alright, so this one, let's see, do I have? Nope. This one I'm going to have 4 on it. Just because. Uh-oh. Got my centerpiece a little tight on that one. So let me go ahead and get my nails in from the other side on that one. There we go. That's better. Okay. All right, now that I've got all them built, now I've got to cut the braces for all of this. So what my braces are going to do is they're going to come in here like this, and then only going to go about half of this, about here, and cut that at 45 so it doesn't show as much. But there are going to be 4 braces come off of each one of these. So let me get all them cut, and I can figure out what I want to do with them first, but let me cut them and I'll be right back with you. Okay, So I've cut these out. This is B for the big one. I cut 4. I'll have to find the 4th one of these, and these will go on the 16-inch one. There's the 4th one. Right there. So let me get these nailed in here, glued in, and then we'll get to the 16-inch. I did mess up on my lines. I didn't draw the other parts. I wanted to draw all of them here, but I only drew the diagonals. But that's okay. It's not that critical that they be absolutely perfect. And I'll come in from the top, of course. That's where the not having the other line drawn is going to come back and bite me. But that's okay. I've been bit before and survived. So today is Thanksgiving. I am trying to get this completed so that the person that wants it can come and get it Saturday. Tomorrow is another work day, so won't be able to do a whole lot of work on this. Alright, I'm going to flip this over. Have to figure out where my line goes here, and then nail it from the top. I'll move on to the 24-inch and 16, like it's not gonna, like I say, it's not going to get anything, and then I'll get back with you. Alright, I've got it all put together, got it all assembled. Now I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper and just kind of roughly run over it, get off all the splinters and everything. Again, I'm not worried about it all being round, because the ultimate goal here is we're going to have a tinsel run all around the sides of it, and grass and that kind of stuff, so that when they put the villages on, it looks like they're in a wild environment. So going to kind of smooth it up a little bit, get them splinters out of it, and I'll take it out and assemble it, and let's see how good my calculations were. Alright, well here we go. We got the stand, I put the pole in it, put one 4-inch piece. Now I've got a 12 and a 4. Let me go over here and get the second shelf. Let's hope it all works, huh? There we go. Just a little snug, that's what we want. Don't want it too loose because there's be wobbly. And then the 16. Might help if I put some spacers. Let's try it again. That label is right here. Makes it hard to go past it. So let's just put a 12-inch right there. That would save some if they want them. Yeah, there's a piece of label up in here now that's stuck up in there. That's nice. There we go. If nothing else, I can run a little Dremel sander on there. All right, let's see what that looks like. Hey, that looks a lot better. Nice and straight. I think I like that. I think that's one that I'd be proud to give as a Christmas present. And I'll, like I showed on the other one, I'll come under here, I'll paint all these undersides flat black. I'll paint these. I think I can get that crinkle paint. It's what I painted them others with. Of course I ran out, but I'll paint these with that crinkly paint, brown, and then I may come over with just regular brown on top of that to kind of give it that more of the trunk feel. So, hey, I'm happy with this. That's what happens when you lay awake at night. Design stuff laying in bed. All right, well, I don't know if I'll get the finished product with the paint and everything on it in this video, but if I don't, like I say, it'll be black underneath here, so it kind of hides that. And the ultimate plan will be to put tinsel around here. Be nice. What I was thinking is some of that green AstroTurf kind of stuff. It's a short, not to, like quarter to half inch. Put on here, and then take some of that snow spray and kind of spray on it, so it looks like grass with snow all over it. What I'm thinking would be probably be nice. That might be what I end up doing with mine. But we'll see what she wants to do. She wants me to do it, or she wants to do it herself, decorating it before we before I do anything with it. So, hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, it's something a little different than what I usually do. I usually do lawn care, of course, but I have that shop for a reason. I have built a lot of stuff over the years, so might as well include it in this group. Hope you liked it. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends, put the little notification bell so you get more notifications as I do more videos. Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas. We'll see you in the next one.